Joining me now is NBC's Dan De Luce from the Pentagon and White House correspondent Monica Alba. Monica, I want to start with sort of an interesting aspect of this, and that is the fact that the White House brought John Kirby out to make an announcement about a trip to Poland and waited for a reporter to question the White House until we found this out. It just seemed like an odd way to disclose this information.
That was one of my major takeaways too, Chuck, and I think if we rewind here to the reason we all learned about the initial Chinese surveillance balloon is because of the reporting of our great colleague Courtney Kube. It raises a whole lot of questions about what the White House and the Pentagon sometimes isn't prepared to want to disclose until the media is going to report about it or until reporters start to ask those very important questions. So yes, it was also in the middle of this briefing with a top White House national security spokesperson where somebody asked kind of casually, there's a rumor about another high-flying object over Alaska. Can you confirm that? And then you saw John Kirby there take out a very carefully prepared statement, read from it, confirm it, and then it exploded into, of course, 95 follow-up questions that all of my great colleagues in the White House press corps also had. Among them, and things we still don't know, to your point, who owns this aircraft. But we did learn a little bit more about the timeline here, and I think this is what becomes a little bit interesting politically, because we know that the Chinese balloon really flew across the United States for days, captivating the nation before it was shot down over water. We're told the president learned about this other object, which again is much smaller. It is about the size of a small car, we understand. He learned about it last night. He made a decision this morning to take it out of the sky, and then it was really just early this afternoon that actually happened. So this whole military operation on a very shrunk down timeline compared to what we saw in the entirety of last week with the other balloon that was 200 feet tall and the satellite portion was the size of a regional jet. So again, we're talking about different things, and we still don't have a total picture of this other thing that was shot down over those frozen waters. So hopefully they'll be able to recover a lot of it and tell us more in the days ahead. And Dan, I know you were on the Pentagon side of this briefing.
It sounds as if they started tracking this before it entered American airspace. Is that fair to say? And so was this one of those, if it does go into our airspace, we're shooting it down, or was that decision made after it entered our airspace?
They're suggesting that the decision came after it entered U.S. airspace. At 45,000 feet, the one thing they're emphasizing is that's the altitude that civilian aircraft travel at, unlike that Chinese balloon that was much higher above where civilian aircraft fly. But what was bizarre at this press conference, if you saw it, you know, they could not say how fast it was traveling. They couldn't explain how fighter jet pilots and aircraft could figure out at least that there was no one on it. It was not manned. But then they couldn't tell us exactly what was this object. So we're literally talking about a UFO. I think they're trying to be careful until they figure out exactly what it was. But there is this contrast now, right? Because in the first incident, they did not shoot down what they believed was a Chinese balloon when it was over the Pacific Ocean, over the West Coast. And they waited till it got all the way to the East Coast. In this case, they shot something down that, you know, was not a Chinese surveillance balloon. At least they haven't said it was yet. So it's very confusing. It's much smaller. I think there's a distinct possibility they will say this is a balloon, but stay tuned.
Why do you say that?
Well, because it looks to have been traveling very slowly. And they said it was unmanned. And just the way they're describing it seems to suggest that. I'm speculating, but that's a distinct possibility here.
And Monica, did they seem at all to suggest it was maneuverable and that they knew it was being guided in some way?
Well, according to, again, I'll call in Courtney, who was just talking about this a little bit ago, and I defer to her expertise. They did believe it was moving in a strange direction. It was moving somewhere that wouldn't track with what you would normally see something like this, a high-flying object, and so that raised some questions, and that again suggests perhaps this is a similar balloon. But they didn't provide a lot more details beyond that. And I can also say the president was just asked about this in his meeting with the Brazilian president at the White House. He just welcomed him, and the only comment he offered was that it was a great success. So it seems that they're pleased with how this all went, though again there are still questions about how it went down, and again some of the differences with what we saw in the last week.
And Dan, you know, last week they at least let us know that they had sent fighter jets up to observe the balloon, that they had an idea. They sort of made a lot of estimate, and it was clearly that it was, you know, they had sent some jets up to sea, one would assume they did the same thing with this object, and yet they've given us very little detail here.
That's right, and they moved much faster. It was a much swifter kind of chain of events, right? Because in this case, they spotted it yesterday. They sent up aircraft to take a look, and then they ordered up this F-22 to take it out with a Sidewinder missile. And of course, the last time they said, oh, we were collecting intelligence on that Chinese balloon the whole time, and that was to the U.S. advantage. And that was another question today. Well, why didn't you wait and collect more intelligence on this? And their answer was, well, this was at that altitude where civilian aircraft travel. But, you know, we don't know what this is. This could have been some kind of research or weather balloon for all we know. We really have almost no information at the moment.
Monica, Alba, Dan De Luce, this has actually not cleared things up. I think we have only more questions with this strange way that they briefed the public on this.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.